You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends, on a Tuesday. Happy to have everybody along here on Kaplan and Crew. Let me say hola to hermano numero uno, Grande Alejandro, repping the 805 in La Casa.
Heading to the 805 this weekend. First time in like 5 months. Can't wait.
Are you actually going to see and touch Mama Padilla?
Yeah, gonna give her a big old unmaskless or a maskless hug. Big old
Really?
one.
A big vaccinated hug?
A huge vaccinated hug. Yeah.
See?
Might even bring it in for the real thing. Like,
See?
hold it in for a while.
Yeah, see, you guys all laugh at me. The T-shirt I want to create, hug me, I'm vaccinated, but I'm just too overwhelmed to even deal with it. Although Fat Tony calls me every day and says, dude, I'll make the T-shirt right now. That's what you should have. You should be wearing a T-shirt when you go to see your mother that says, hug me, I'm vaccinated.
Or I could just, hug her.
Yeah, you could do that. Hey, when you're up in the 805, make sure you stop by and get us some toppers. And please bring some home.
Well, I 100,000% will be stopping multiple times at Toppers, and I cannot promise that any will make it back.
All right. Well, hey, let's say what's going on to a man repping the south side of Chicago. He's bringing the street cred from the 7 Mile Casino podcast shed. Big Brown in the house. What's up, Brown?
What's popping, man? What's good? What's good? Maybe you might go up there with some Padilla LA shirts.
Like I told you yesterday, I know that you want to make fun of me, but I truly think that my family will buy a lot of those shirts. I won't be one of them, but if you make those shirts, I guarantee you I have family members that will buy them.
Yeah, it's really a good idea. It says Padilla, but the L and the A at the end look like the Dodgers, LA. He'll sell the hell out of those T-shirts, Browner.
So he got to represent.
I know. Well, he's representing today. He got his Slam Diego hoodie on. Okay, so look, we're just getting going, at least on the TV side of things, okay? The radio stuff, we're on, man. And we're on 1090. We're over here on YouTube. Get involved in our YouTube chat and come down below and comment. Throw a thumbs up in there, and we're rolling. But the TV tonight, Channel 4 San Diego and Santa Barbara, Channel 118 Palos Verdes in Orange County. If you are watching this evening from home on television, stay tuned, because coming up, former Padre and Dodger and Milwaukee Brewer and Southern California native and former Chicago Cubs bench coach Mark Loretta also served in the front office with the Padres. Mark Loretta is going to stop by. We're going to talk about Padres. We're going to talk Dodgers. I'm going to guess we'll probably get into like real life and vaccinations and fam and the whole thing. So Mark Loretta coming up just a little bit later on. But let me start off hyper local. Let me start off with the first game of the Padres Pirates series, because the second game was happening on East Coast time. So while we're actually on the radio, but your man, Wil Myers, Browner.
Hey.
White Queso himself.
Hey.
Now, for those of you that don't know the backstory on why Wil Myers is known worldwide as White Queso, going back to probably 2015, 16-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood, I think, we were doing radio broadcasts from the Padres spring training home in Arizona. Wil Myers comes over to sit down at our very uncomfortable, wiry picnic table. It was hurting my ass, this table, and my back. I had to like stand up, Myers is sitting right next to Billy Ray doing this interview. And we're talking about, this is when Andy Green was hired as the manager. Browner, your favorite manager.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, size does not mean you're not good, but he wasn't good at all.
Anyway.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I thought y'all meant Tingler. My bad. Yeah, Andy was the man, dog. Andy was the man. This was a bad move.
So anyway,
he was like, "What was my take on Andy Green? Hold on, let me go back in my book of takes."
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. I'm gonna stick to Tingler talk. My bad.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is when the previous manager of the Padres had taken over, and we said to him, "Hey, did he come visit you? Did you guys talk?" So Wil Myers is telling this story that the then manager of the Padres, Andy Green, comes to Charlotte, North Carolina to visit him. And he said he takes him out for Mexican food. And I said, "Hey, how's the Mexican food in Charlotte, North Carolina?" And he said, amazing, like bomb. And I was like,
I listen, dude. I gotta correct you a little bit.
oh, okay, please go ahead. This is my recollection. Go ahead. Go
Right.
ahead.
So the way I remember this,
Mhm.
and I could be wrong as well,
Oh,
because
okay.
it was so long ago. It was 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Was you said really? They got good Mexican food in San Diego? Like it was like a condescending type of.
No. I said, really? They got good Mexican food in Charlotte, North Carolina?
Right, and I remember hearing it because I was standing right behind you. Was really got good Mexican food in San Diego? So,
but why San Diego, not Charlotte?
I mean Charlotte. Excuse me.
Okay, because you're screwing me up here.
Yes, that's what I meant.
You
kind of said it that way.
Did you take your third vaccination that I missed or something?
Excuse me.
Oh,
I was seeing
right.
Billy Ray's hat, and I just said San Diego.
Go ahead, Brown. What's up?
Is there a chance that he's correct? I mean, have you whoa. Have y'all had Mexican food in North Carolina?
I can legitimately say I have not.
No.
Alex?
No.
I mean, clearly he has. He's had it there. He's had it here.
Right. So what happened
But
was
his reasoning is where he lost us. That's
so I look at Will Myers and I
got
say to Will
Mexicans
Myers,
in North Carolina.
Well, hold on. That's actually an important point because I said to Will Myers, I said, now hold on. You're telling me that they've got bomb Mexican food in Charlotte, and he goes, better than San Diego. And I went, wait, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, because in San Diego they don't have white queso. And I was like,
and that's when you made, like, legitimately your mood just went from curious to what did you just say?
I was like, wait a second, dude. I go, is there a large Mexican population in Charlotte, North Carolina that they've got such great Mexican restaurants? And he's like, no, just they have better food, in my opinion. So I kind of stand up now at this picnic table and I kind of put my hands down, like, and I'm like looking at Will Myers. Yeah, there I am. Look at me. That's me with my sunglasses on.
Look at that goatee.
I was trying to rock a goatee. I don't know why.
Jesus, Jim Rome.
And I'm looking at and look at Billy Ray. Look at Billy Ray's left hand on his temple, and look at the look on Billy Ray's face. Like, you're telling me there's better Mexican food in Charlotte, North Carolina, than there is in San Diego, a city that is 10 miles from the Mexican border. That's what you're telling me. And Will Myers had that hat on backwards and that gee shucks golly kind of attitude. And he was like, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That is what I'm telling you.
Again.
And then he also said something about either that San Diego doesn't have refried beans. And I was like, where are you eating that there's what do you mean? He either said refried or whole beans. I'm pretty sure he said refried beans.
Look,
like whatever place he went to, A, didn't serve white queso, and B, gave him whole beans.
The man has traveled to both places. He's eaten Mexican food in both places. If he came back with his review, that's his review. If Sam the cooking guy said that, y'all be like, oh, it must be true. Why can't Will Myers why can't Will Myers have the taste buds to honestly make a decision on this particular topic? You know what y'all doing? This goes back to the whole thing about y'all trying to trade him, okay? Y'all been trying to trade him ever since that situation happened. But now he here pulling through.
Very true.
Now he here pulling through, and y'all can't go back on that now, okay? I remember y'all wanted him traded, and I was like, we got to stick with him.
But you know why we wanted him traded, right?
Well, he wasn't very good at the time.
No, well, yeah, that, and he shunned us.
Well, I would have too if Jim Rome knockoff got in my face trying to tell me about Mexican food.
No, he didn't appreciate the nickname and how fast it blew up. When people were chanting white queso at him at Petco Park, and people made shirts with white queso, and it's still, when he hits a home run, you could search white queso, and there's a lot of tweets about it.
Right.
And so, if you remember, last year, Trevor Rosenthal, when he was traded over here, he was like, where should I go eat on Twitter? And people were like, don't ask Will Myers. Don't ask Will Myers. And then so it's been in his head for 5 years now, man.
And by the way, we wanted Will Myers traded when Will Myers didn't have a position necessarily because the manager didn't play him regularly every day. Now that he's your everyday right fielder and he's not in between first base, right field, center field, left field, try him at third base. I mean, he needs to be in the lineup every day. Certain players in Major League Baseball just need to be able to go in and not feel the pressure that if they go 0 for 4, they're sitting the next day. Certain guys just got to be told, you're playing no matter what. You're going to get 300 at bats and you don't have anything to worry about. Just let it go. And Will Myers has let it go. And if Alex, if you put it up here, I mean, he's off to such a great start right now. You know, because look, it's such an important part of the story. Last year, you had Manny and you had the emergence of Tatis, and you knew what you thought you were going to hopefully get in Hosmer. And Myers was the guy that was on the trading block because nobody knew what he was going to really be. And look what he did last year, which was he had a terrific year and was an important part of this. And now off to a great start. In fact, last night, my son and I are having this argument over dinner. We're watching the Padres on one TV. We're watching the Lakers on the other TV. And my son is telling me, if you take Machado, Tatis, Hosmer, and Myers, the four from the Padres, and you put them up against Bellinger and Betts and Seager and Turner, just as an example, he's like, the Padres 4 guys are better than the Dodgers 4 guys. And so, like, this is exactly now what the Padres want. They want people to believe. They want people to have passion. They want people to say and debate that the Padres are better than the Dodgers. I of course, came back to my son and said, yeah, but keep going down the roster, dude.
But say the top 4 again. The Dodgers top 4.
Yeah. Well, and this was a whole other discussion. Who are the Dodgers?
Who is the Dodgers? Right. It's Betts and Bellinger for sure.
Betts, Bellinger. I'd say Seager has to be in the top 4. You don't think so?
Too. I think he's a top-notch shortstop.
Right. And then the question was, is it Turner? Is it Muncy? I mean, where do you go from there?
But Justin Turner's more clutch than he is more of an everyday guy. So I would say in a clutch situation, yeah, Justin Turner has come up big time multiple times, but over the length of the season, I
think the top 2 guys are super close. Even though both Bellinger and Betts have MVPs, I think the top 2 guys, talent-wise, are very close. But when you drop to Myers and is it Hosmer? Is that who you said was the 4th one?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where. Yeah, I don't know. That's close though.
Browner, I think you pushed your mute by accident, but I like it. I like it when you're muted.
Oh, something did happen with his mic.
Yeah, I know. He was in the middle of something. He was like on fire, and then all of a sudden his mic just went completely out. But that's the new world. By the way, anybody who's watching this at home right now, and you're like, I'm just running into the show. I didn't know what happened. Oh, dude, don't even get me started, dude. Radio, YouTube, then they threw us on TV. And when you're looking at me, by the way, and you're going, Kaplan, what's up with the lighting? Like what's going on in your studio? Don't ask. This is a podcast that turned into a radio show and a TV show. So this isn't ESPN. This isn't, like professional studios. This is my house. Feel me?
Hook us up, Cox.
All right. So let me do this. Let me give you my my daily look at the standings. Because as I told you, and I'm going to tell Mark Loretta when he comes up in the next segment, that every day I'm looking at the Padres schedule and I'm looking at the Dodgers schedule. And I'm looking at the standings every single day. Because while the Dodgers are 10 games in and the Padres are 11 games in, I'm looking every single day because it's going to be like this for the next 152. Look at the Padres and what they've done. 4 straight wins now against Texas, 3 against Texas, 1 last night against Pittsburgh, and playing while we're on the radio today. And the Dodgers, after a day off, coming back against Colorado, and that game is already happening. So there's your standings. Dodgers in first with an 8-2 record. Padres in second with an 8-3 record.
Is it
possible all year?
Is it possible that we already overreacted when they lost 2 of 3 to the Giants?
Yes, of course. However, that's good. Padres fans should overreact when the Padres lose series at home against teams that they're better than. That's what should happen. It's not like, oh, it's okay, it's early in the season. It's no, you can't lose games and series at home to inferior teams. Can't happen.
Because today, MLB.com released their power rankings of all of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to take a guess at who number 1 was?
Number 1 team in power rankings through 10 or 11 games through the first week and a half. Yeah, Dodgers got to be number 1. They're the defending world champions, and they're on fire.
That's a given.
Okay.
Now, number 2.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that the Padres are a very fashionable pick right now. And I think there's actually been some interesting articles written recently about how Dodger fans need to understand the Padres are for real. So I'll just take my guess here that the Padres are probably considered number 2 in the power rankings.
And you would be correct. So there you go. According to MLB.com, the top 5 teams: Dodgers, Padres, Yankees, Twins, and Astros.
Cheaters.
The Astro cheats. Yes, they do.
Let me tell you something right now. Just hold that for a second here. So just put that back on the screen for a minute.
Okay.
Let everybody who's watching on YouTube and everybody who's watching on TV and those of you that are listening, soak this in. As of April 13, is that today?
That is today.
Yeah. The Dodgers are considered in power rankings to be number 1. The Padres are considered number 2, ahead of the New York Yankees. That is amazing. I mean, to see the Padres ahead of the Yankees in anything is incredible. Seriously, you know? So, and right behind the Dodgers, really, really cool. Those are the MLB power rankings.
We're 11 games in. There's 151 to go. But as of right now, record-wise, the Padres have the second best record in baseball.
Do you guys regret jumping off the bandwagon?
No, because we didn't jump off the bandwagon. We just told you about World Series contention and why if Tatis was out for the year, that I ruled them out to be serious contenders. And I still believe that thought.
I still believe the same way too.
Yeah.
You say jumping off the bandwagon, but you got to remember something. See, I was driving the bandwagon while you weren't even aware of the San Diego Padres.
Wow.
So, yeah, see that's just straight facts is what that is.
Wow.
See, I was for 20 years.
Who are you, Hank Bauer now?
No, I don't need to be Hank Bauer. For 20 years, I was driving while you were like, "What's the Padres? What's all I care about is basketball. I don't even know what the Padres are." So I'm not jumping on or off. I'm telling you straight up the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Fernando Tatis doesn't come back, the Padres are not winning a World Series this year without him. And if they do, by the way, if they do, then guess what? They just invested $340 million into a player that, frankly, statistically and factually, if they were to win, they didn't need. So listen, man, I don't think saying that the Padres aren't going to win the World Series if Tatis doesn't return is jumping off the bandwagon as you have attempted to characterize it.
Oh, no. See, I like how you try to paint it with this word characterization. That's not what I'm doing.
Oh.
I'm simply recalling a certain set of facts that was shared on one's show, okay? I'm not making them out of thin air. I'm simply saying what you said. You said that you don't believe that they're World Series contenders without Fernando Tatis. And yet, without Fernando Tatis, they've continued to win. So, therefore...
Against the bad Rangers and the bad Pirates.
Yes,
I'm sorry. These
are the teams they're supposed to beat.
Could we cut?
This is why we got mad at them when they lost 2 of 3 to the Giants.
Can we cut the schedule and just have them play the Yankees tomorrow? Because I'd be down for that. Can we do that?
Play
Is
the
that
Dodgers
possible?
on Friday. They did play the Dodgers on Friday,
listen.
and that's a great measuring stick early on in the season.
Especially because Dave Roberts has made adjustments to his pitching staff to say we're coming in with our top 3 guys, and we plan on marking our territory. So,
and
listen,
the Padres, it does look like it looks like they will have Darvish and Snell Saturday, Sunday
which
as well.
Which is
with
awesome.
Friday, I don't know who the hell is going to pitch on Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be legit.
All right. Hey, listen, let me send out some love and some thanks to our people from the Total T Clinic, TotalTClinic.com. Hey, guys, look, as you get older, your testosterone levels drop a little bit, and then all of a sudden you don't feel good. You don't feel strong. Your body's not fighting off infection. You're not getting the job done in the bedroom. Hey, look, if you want to feel like that young stud that you once were, and you can be again, come to the Total T Clinic, get your testosterone levels checked in 15 minutes. It's all free. And then if you need to go on a treatment of testosterone because your levels are low, you're going to see in 6 weeks, you are going to feel like $1 million. Total T Clinic, TotalTClinic.com. All right, so we talk about the hyper local stuff. I want to talk about one national story before we get to Mark Loretta. Did you guys see yesterday that Julian Edelman retired from the NFL after 12 years? Did you guys catch that story?
Bye.
Yeah. Edelman had this video. This is like the new thing now, like that everybody produces their own content. Alex, can you show everybody some of this video that Edelman put out on social media? Play it for us a little bit.
Yes, and please don't let me play the whole thing. Cut it off.
We'll cut
Nothing
it off.
in my career has ever come easy.
Oh,
And
my God.
no surprise, this isn't going to be easy either. Now, I've always said, I'm going to go until the wheels come off. And they finally have fallen off.
All right, hold it. Hold it. I'm good. First of all, hey, Julian Edelman, my Hebrew, my brother. I love seeing, like, the only Jewish guy I had in the NFL wearing his Star of David and retiring. But let me ask you guys this question. I love how like immediately this conversation right away comes to this. Is he a Hall of Famer? Right? Like that's like the first thing people talk about. Is he a Hall of Famer? And there's all kinds of statistics that say, kinda, yeah. I mean, he is. Like when you look at seriously, when you look at his performances in the postseason, it's insane what this guy has accomplished in his career. But he's short and he's white and he's been undersized and he's been an underdog. And you say he's a product of Brady. My thought wasn't, is he a Hall of Famer? My thought was, is he really retired? Alex, can you put up on the screen for everybody the sided debate that I wrote? Real quickly, Browner, do you think Edelman is truly retired, or does Edelman pull a Gronk and go to Tampa and play with Brady?
Man, I don't give a damn about no Julian Edelman, but he will go play in Tampa.
Okay, Alex, will he go play in Tampa with Brady, or is he truly retired?
I think he's done. He's done.
All right, put that up on the screen. If you go to sided.co, you can get in on this conversation. You can vote. You can add your comments. You can earn points. You can win Amazon gift cards. Download the Sided app or go to sided.co. All right, more coming up. Mark Loretta will talk Padres and Dodgers next.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Catch Kaplan and Crew Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. If you've listened to Scott Kaplan the last 20 years, you know one thing. He likes to stir up some shit. A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on Your View. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
I've been a part of this community for a long time, and giving back is what we do. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about the San Diego Giving Back Raffle, a benefit for Ronald McDonald House Charities of San Diego. Grand prize is this $4 million luxury home, or you could win a car, vacation, or cash. Everyone is guaranteed to win a prize. And you'll feel good knowing your raffle purchase goes to help families like the Lechugas. Get your tickets now for the San Diego Giving Back Raffle.
City in Motion is brought to you by McDonald's. Stop by your local participating McDonald's now through April 25th and make a donation, or visit walkforkids.org to support.
Hi, I'm Vince Bryson, CEO of Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southern California. Welcome to the 2020 Virtual Walk for Kids.
Coronavirus pandemic will not stop our show because we are still going to walk for these kids.
You guys want to do the Walk for Kids virtually this year?
Yeah! Today is Walk for Kids, you guys, virtually. So we love it, love it, love it.
Let's get this walk started.
We are going to start. So I'm going to be walking around my backyard.
Doing the 5K walk. We're here in front of the beautiful Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
So we are getting ready to do lap 3.
We're here to send our support.
I love the excitement. I love the energy. Let's keep it going.
If you want to know the reason why I'm walking, It's because I care about the kids and the families that stay at our house.
I walk for the Los Angeles Ronald McDonald House for kids like me, so they can have a place to call their home away from home.
To me, the Ronald McDonald House means love, care, hope, and support.
The families and children of RMHC need our help and support now more than ever. So thank you for joining our virtual walk and continuing to support our Ronald McDonald House even during these difficult times.
Thank you so much for coming together, for showing that we can unite and be together, even though we're not at our respective locations.
Thank you for participating in this virtual walk.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for all your help and support, and stay well.
Ronald McDonald House Charities of SoCal gives families with sick kids the best medicine, each other. Stop by your local McDonald's today and make a donation or visit walkforkids.org to support. City in Motion, highlighting great things in our community like Ronald McDonald House Charities. Give families with sick kids the best medicine, each other.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the Mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
We have a term for typical cheese-filled, grease-covered, regret-inducing takeout. That's why dinner from El Pollo Loco is always fire-grilled, freshly prepared, feel-good food. The $20 Familia Dinner from El Pollo Loco.
Are you living in an underserved community and facing adversity? Do you have a desire to start or grow your own business? San Diego State University's Lavin Entrepreneurship Center, the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurial Studies, and community partners invite you to participate in our Community Bootcamp. The bootcamp provides intense, hands-on exposure to the fundamentals of launching and growing a successful venture. Register today at leadershipcentersw.org.
Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on Your View. Sponsored by The Burns Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit theburnsfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
Adios, love handles.
Adios, couch.
Adios, Quarantine 15.
Say adios to the quarantine bod with Pollo Fit Bowls, made with fire-grilled chicken and organic super greens from El Pollo Loco.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
How about Will Myers, Padres fans? Monday night, Myers tied a career high with 5 RBI. That is the 3rd time in his career that he has had a 5 RBI game. Myers has been consistent early this season. He has 3 home runs on the year, 4 doubles, 11 RBI, and sits at a .350 average. The Friars offense would collectively like to see more productivity, however, to go along with pitching that has been exceptional. On Monday night, Yu Darvish went 7 innings, allowing only 1 run on 3 hits with 6 strikeouts in the 6-2 win over the Pirates. Since his rocky start on opening day, where he allowed 4 runs in 4 2/3 innings, Darvish has now only allowed 2 runs over 13 innings in his last 2 starts. The Padres still maintain the best ERA in the majors, and they sit right behind the Dodgers for the 2nd best record at 8-3. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
Attention, all dogs, cats, horses, tortoises, birds, pigs, and all other pets. Get your family members to sit, stay, and watch Animal Zone every Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on this channel and at animalzone.org.
Tune in Saturdays at 9 p.m. to watch Animal Zone right here on Your View.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Glad to have you along here in the 7 Mile Casino studios of Kaplan and Crew. And if you're listening on radio or watching on YouTube or listening on any of the audio podcast platforms, awesome. But tonight, if you're watching on Your View, Channel 4 San Diego and Santa Barbara, Channel 118 Orange County and Palos Verdes, you know who you are, darling. Say good evening to my man, or good afternoon, depending on when you're listening or watching, Grande Alejandro in La Casa.
Hello. Hello. Hola.
Hola to you, my man. Yeah. Nice to see you. What's up from the 7 Mile Casino podcast shed? He's bringing the street cred. Big Brown in the house.
What to do, people? Welcome.
Yeah. Hey, coming up in just a matter of moments. In fact, he'll be here any second. Mark Loretta. I love Mark Loretta. He's one of my all-time faves. Mark Loretta was a great second baseman for the Padres. He then played for the Red Sox. He played for the Dodgers. He played for the Houston Astros at one point in his career. I mean, Milwaukee. Hey, listen, do I have Houston right? Maybe I'm wrong on that. But he's been around a lot of baseball, but specifically the Padres as a player and as a front office exec, and as the Dodgers. He was once a player for the Dodgers and was real close, is probably still real close to Dave Roberts. So lots to talk about today with former major leaguer. And by the way, he was the bench coach of the Chicago Cubs like 2 years ago and is probably going to get a managerial job at some point. Mark Loretta in just a matter of moments. In fact, let's just bring him on right now. Here he is. Mark, how are you? It's been a little while, man. How's it going?
It's been a while. Yeah, Scotty, I'm doing great. Thanks. Getting through the pandemic. Had my first Pfizer shot. So I'm on my way to immunity, I guess, at least some protection.
Where'd you get your shot?
I got a UCSD down at the RE/MAX Center, and it couldn't have been easier. I mean, I was in and out of the car. I was back in the car in 30 minutes.
I got my first Pfizer shot at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. I never got out of the car, dude. I mean, really? It was like being online in a roller coaster, but in your car.
Incredible.
I know.
Did you volunteer? Did you have to volunteer to do that a day or something? Or
no, I qualified for 2 reasons: old and fat. So I qualified.
No, I was thinking about that. So this BMI stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think I'm considered at 5'11 and a half, 195, morbidly obese.
Oh,
so
dude, you're disgusting. You're an animal.
Mark, you should have seen Scott when he realized that he qualified under that, dude. I don't think he's ever felt worse about himself. I was like, Scott, I was like, literally 3 or 4 people in San Diego qualified because of that rule right there.
Come on, I've got a little bit of muscle that supposedly weighs more than fat, right? Come on.
I know. I was like, I'm obese.
Morbidly, not just obese, morbidly obese.
Right. No, so I didn't volunteer. I just waited until I was qualified, if you will. And then thankfully made an appointment. I actually didn't. My girlfriend did, because that was just way too complicated for someone like me. But I made an appointment and I went in, and I'm telling you, smooth operation. So I'm 1 shot in. Let me ask you a quick question. Seriously, since we started here.
Yeah.
Were you trepidatious, good word, in any way, like fearful in any way about the shot?
I really wasn't, no. I get flu shots every year, so I'm kind of used to that. And we've never been the anti-vaxxers with the, all that mercury stuff. So I felt good about it. My parents had gotten it. I was just concerned about, am I going to have any symptoms? I've heard a few people get them, and particularly in the second shot, I guess, can be worse. My sister, who's quite a bit younger than I am, had COVID and then got the shots, and her second one was she was down for like 24 hours. So I don't know.
So Grande, tell Mark Loretta about your experience with the second Pfizer shot.
I don't want Mark to get all scared or anything like that. I try to describe. So I got my second one Tuesday or Wednesday last week, and the next day I pretty much experienced every side effect that they say you can experience. But it wasn't like it knocked me on my ass. It was more of a giant inconvenience because you just felt off. I pretty much felt off all day.
Just for one day, though.
Not even the whole day. Not even the whole day.
Well, you got a good immune system.
Yeah, but it was there was like an hour or two there where I was like, oh, this sucks. This feels awful.
Mark, now that you have one of two,
and I got Pfizer too, by the way.
Yeah. Are you either living like normal again, or are you waiting for the second shot? And I'm just curious, like when you feel, because Alex told us as soon as he got his second shot, he felt superior to everybody else on the planet. Is there anything that you want to do that you've not done because of COVID that you're like, once I get my second shot and I'm good, I'm doing?
You know, not really. My parents more so, who were in their 70s, you know, they didn't really leave the house. I mean, they were shut-ins and recluse, and they couldn't wait to go to the market and a restaurant and things like that. You know, we've kind of slowly, re-indoctrinated ourselves into the restaurants and traveled a little bit. But I'll still wear a mask because I think they still don't know whether you can actually transmit it to somebody else. So I think I'll still do all the protocols just for the sake of the other people around me.
I'm having the exact same experience you are, just by the way. My parents are in their 70s. They live in Florida. They completely locked themselves in, okay? And they both have the vaccination. They're both good. And I don't know about you. Tell me if you guys all feel this way. I feel very disconnected because even though I'm seeing my friends on Facebook, yes, I'm still using Facebook. I see them on Instagram, okay? I feel very disconnected. So I'm actually trying to plan a trip to Florida to go take me and my kids, go to Florida, see my parents, then go from Boca to Tampa to go see my sister. Like, I feel very disconnected. I even, like this summer, I'm talking to all my college buddies, like, yo, we got to get together. You experiencing anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Same with my parents too. I felt bad for them because they were really, really honestly shut-ins and just, walking the dog twice a day. That was the highlight of their day. So they live in Palm Desert. So I'm heading there next week actually to spend some time with them. And then you're right. I think there's so much pent up demand. I mean, I think the travel hospitality industry is going to just go nuts here when the all clear is sounded.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys
follow all the airline stocks, and I'm trying to decide when is the right time to go in on airline stocks,
But this is like a full circle interview now because Mark just got his first shot and Scott has his first shot. And Mark, if you guys remember, he was our first interview when we started working from home.
I was?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
March 23rd, 2020.
Wow. What a day that was.
What a day it was.
Dude, it's been over a year. So let me get to a few things. Mark Loretta, I've told this, was a great second baseman for the Padres. Everybody knows that. Bounced around in his major league career, though, because he got to play in a lot of different places, including for the Dodgers. So Mark's got a really good, interesting perspective as a Padre and as a Dodger. So, Mark, my man Browner here has gone all in. Everything is perfect in Padre land other than Browner. I don't want to misrepresent your words here.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Say it.
Browner wants Tingler fired immediately.
Yep.
But everything else is perfect.
Wow. I'd love to hear what the reasoning behind that is, Doc.
So the reason why I am not a fan of Mr. Tingler is because I believe that he does not know how to use the pitching situation on the roster. This particular team, this is a championship team built from bumper to bumper. I honestly believe that. No flaws in this team. I mean, look what happened. Tatis goes down. They just keep winning. And I shared this when it's happening. He went down. I wasn't on the panic. I wasn't hitting the panic button. I'm like, look at the way that this team is built. The only losses that they've occurred, and they're going to occur more losses, obviously, I know that baseball is a long season, was because mismanagement. This thing is on cruise control. The manager's only real responsibility at this point is to take care of the energy in the clubhouse and the pitching rotation, whether it be bullpen guys or starting guys. What they usually do starting upstairs, they kind of do it. It's a collaboration. So really just bullpen at this point. Keep everybody happy in the dugout. Keep the mood light. Keep everybody energetic. Keep everything business-like. And don't screw up the bullpen. The couple of losses that this team has got, they've come from the bullpen. So not that you can't put guys in, it's when you put guys in. And I think he doesn't have a feel for when to put certain guys in. And I think that's going to come back to haunt them at the least opportune time.
That's 11 games into the season, Mark Loretta. What do you say?
Well, first, I haven't watched every game, first through 9, but I've watched quite a few. And I think you'll talk to any major league manager that handling the bullpen and managing that is the toughest job. There's no question. And Jace is now in his second year, so I think he's got some room to grow in that area. I will say this though, that the game that Morejon came out hurt, I thought that was very well played in terms of piecing that together, and then to get the start that you got from Darvish last night to take that pressure off the bullpen was big. So, a lot of it depends on how the guys pitch when they're putting in there, honestly. And early in the season too, I think you're still kind of finding out, okay, what guys can handle which roles, which guys am I going to lean on in a pressure situation, which guys can give me some length, et cetera. So I think you'll see as we get deeper into the season, a little bit more consistency out of the pen.
Can you answer one question for me?
Yeah, I'll try.
If Mackenzie Gore can't make the roster at any point in time, being the number one prospect for what feels now like 3 years, is there something internally wrong with him from a system standpoint, or is he just not good enough and they're just holding him for trade bait?
I don't think that the latter is the case. I think they just think he needs more seasoning. I don't know if it's his control issue. Like I said, I haven't been around the team much in the last couple of years. So, when I saw him, he was just electric, can't miss type of guy. I think he's had some trouble with his control, in particular his secondary pitches. And I think, at that age, 21, 22 years old, a lot of guys have come up and have been successful, but there's also been guys who have struggled. So I think they want to make sure he's ready. They feel like they've got, 5 solid starters as is right now. But I think he'd be, if not the first guy right there when somebody, needed a break or got hurt, God forbid.
All right. So Mark Loretta was not only a great player for the Padres and played around Major League Baseball, including the Dodgers. I want to talk about the Dodgers in a second as well. But Mark Loretta was also a front office executive. And so he was out traveling and seeing all of the prospects and all the different levels of the Padres organization. Mark, when a guy like Tatis gets hurt, why is it that they don't immediately say, well, our top-rated prospect is this shortstop, let's put him in, the same way they did Tatis? Now, they got Kim from Korea, and they were able to move him over to short, and that's actually a good thing because Cronenworth needs to play. I mean, you cannot take this guy out of the lineup.
For sure.
So, in my opinion. So, when they don't bring a prospect up to fill a position, is it because of service time and keeping him down because they don't need him? I wonder why they don't immediately give him a shot is what I'm getting at.
Well, for example, I think you got to be careful in looking at those prospect lists because just because somebody is the number one prospect, he may be just an 18 or 19-year-old kid, but he's just got such big upside that the powers that be rate him as the number one prospect. So I think you're talking about a guy like C.J. Abrams, for example. He's drafted out of high school, going to be a stud, no question about it, but he's not ready. And I think to throw him in as a starting shortstop on, like you mentioned, Doc, a championship caliber team, could have some detriments. So I think, signing Kim, they didn't foresee Tatis going down, but to sign him to have that depth, to move him over there, and Cronenworth can play some shortstop. And I think one of the most exciting things about this team is the depth because you've got a lot of guys on the roster who can fill multiple positions, and that's so valuable, particularly in the National League game when you're going to have pinch hitting and double switching and what they did in the offseason too. I mean, the sneaky acquisition, Darvish got all the headlines, but Victor Caratini, I saw him, I had him in 2019. Guy's a great player. Couldn't be a better clubhouse guy. Guys love him. Darvish just adores him. I mean, he'll trust whatever he puts down. And I think that was a really big pickup, particularly with Nola going down. Again, you got to have 2 and 3 deep in every position.
Yeah. We're talking to Mark Loretta this afternoon, and the Padres really are why we called. But Mark, having played for the Dodgers, I don't know how you felt about it, but did you happen to see the opening day ceremony at Dodger Stadium where Dave Roberts got his World Series ring? Did you catch any of that?
No, I didn't see that.
Did you see any of the highlights of it?
I didn't. No.
You got zero exposure to it.
I got zero.
I love it. Well, listen, I got to say, as a Padre fan, to watch the Dodgers get their World Series rings, you're like, that sucks, man. But I just appreciate championships. So I was like, okay, I'll sit here and I'll check it out. But for me to see Dave Roberts, a guy who, you played with, we've all known forever. He's a San Diego guy. Not only did he play for the Padres, but was a coach on the Padres staff. And what it's like to be a bench coach and think that maybe you're in position and then not even get the opportunity. You know, Dave never even got that chance to interview with the Padres. He was good enough for the Dodgers, not good enough for the Padres. So for me, like, I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. I know a lot of people are like, he's the Dodger manager. Well, Adrian Gonzalez came here wearing a Dodger uniform time and again, blasting home runs and got standing ovations in Petco Park. I was happy for Dave Roberts. I don't know if you, having not seen it, but what you think about that.
Oh, I'm thrilled for Dave. And before he went to spring training, we had Dave and Trish over for dinner, socially distanced, of course. You know, we've been long time friends. He's awesome, as you know. I mean, one of the most genuine guys. And you know, it's not like he ever spurned the Padres, to your point. I mean, it's not like he said, okay, they're offering me the Padre job, but I'm going to take the Dodgers instead because it's a better organization. So no, that wasn't the case at all. He was happy in San Diego, and then the Dodgers came calling him. You can't blame him. But what he's gone through from a media perspective, you know, they have huge expectations to win every year. And he told some stories that they bought a house up in LA. And when things went south in a couple of seasons, they didn't win the World Series. He had some vandalism in his house. He had people coming over, you know, spray painting stuff, you know, a broken window one time. I mean, it was bad. So for him to kind of hang in there, gut it out, and finally get that championship is awesome.
Hey, Mark, so last year with Will White Queso Myers, we credited him. Like, there's no more pressure on him. There's no fans. You know, he's not the top dog anymore. Like, there's just whatever you can give us, you can give us. And he had an incredible season, but it was a 60-game season. This year, he seems to be carrying it over. Do you see a specific difference in why he's better, or do you kind of agree with all those talking points we talked about last year?
I think it's a combination of both, Alex. I think I can see a different setup in his mechanics at the plate. I mean, he's got kind of reworked his stance. He's got his hands in a different position. I think he's using his lower body much better than he ever has. I mean, last night, you know, he gets that jam shot, you know, for an RBI, and that's good hitting. But then, I mean, it hits that absolute missile to center field. He's uber talented. Give him a little bit of confidence, and to your point of maybe not being the guy that everybody relies on, he can kind of lay in the weeds and be a real force.
When you see the Dodgers, I don't know if you have heard about this, but let me break it down for you a little bit. The Dodgers appear to be moving around their rotation so that their top three guys can face the Padres this weekend. When you start seeing that from teams who have won the World Series, who are respected, who do win the division, start to make those adjustments for someone who they see maybe making a come up, does that energize the ball club, or is that something where guys are just going to keep plowing ahead? Oh,
I think it's a compliment. I don't think the players necessarily worry about it because it's, you know, they're so locked into, okay, day-to-day stuff. But I also think that's a little bit of a dangerous thing to start doing in April, to start moving things around, taking guys out of their routine just because you're playing, you know, a division rival. I mean, if this was September, you know, maybe you think about it, but I'm surprised they're doing that this early, and I think it's definitely a compliment to the Padres. They see them as a real threat.
Well, talking about rotation, what are we gonna do with Chris Paddock, man? Like, how long are you gonna let Paddock? I get it, he's still young. It's only, I think, his third year. But when you have Weathers, when you have Gore, when you have guys that can be starters, at what point do you just got to move Paddock to the bullpen and give someone else a shot?
That's a good point. I mean, you know, and he came out, you know, with the whole sheriff thing, and you know, he's a very confident guy, but when things don't go well, it's not a great look. So
right, nicknames aren't cute when you're not doing well.
The sheriff is on desk duty.
Yeah, the sheriff has become the deputy. Yeah,
deputy. Yeah, I think you know, they'll probably. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any inside information, but I got to figure. You know, they'll give him at least this month. You know, if things don't turn around, and like you said, they've got options, and it's not like it's a developmental year. This is a win now year.
Well, you see, this is the conversation my son and I were having last night. So, born and bred Padre fan, and like so many other Padre fans, truly believes this is the year. This is the team. They're not even talking about next year and getting Clevenger back, you know, and Lamet healthy. They're talking about now, and I get it. But, you know, I always debate with these guys, and I go, but look, when you look at the Dodger pitching staff, 1 through 5 versus the Padres 1 through 5, I still got to go with the Dodgers have more strength. What do you think about that? I'm just asking, 5 for 5, top 5 pitchers on both teams. What do you say, Mark?
I think it's close. I mean, I think with Darvish and Snell, you've got two number ones, and that's very valuable, particularly in like a short playoff series. Can you imagine like a 2 out of 3 or a 3 out of 5? I mean, that's a big time weapon.
Or the wild card.
They might be a little deeper, with Paddock struggles, but although Musgrove, I mean, I think he's a stud. I think you could make a case for either one, but they've been there, they've done that, so maybe give them the edge there. And so far the Padre bullpen's been fantastic. I mean, Melanson, it was kind of hard to, kind of wonder what he's going to bring to the table after having a good run and then falling off there. But I mean, he's been perfect so far. Him and Keone Kela and those guys. I mean, it's been good. It's been good. It's just it's a matter of doing it for 6 months.
Mark, I'm going to bug you every time we talk to you during the baseball season. We got to hustle here, but I'll ask you this: when you and Dave Roberts and families had dinner recently, given that you were the bench coach of the Cubs not that long ago, and your involvement in the Padres front office, and you being teammates and friends, any talk of you joining Dave's staff in LA?
No, there wasn't. I mean, I can't think of who he's got there, but he's pretty entrenched with his staff. There wasn't any talk of that, though.
Okay. Then the next question is, when we getting back in? When we going back into uniform?
I don't know, man. We'll see. This is, I was telling somebody the other day, this is the first year since 1993 I haven't been employed by a team. So it kind of feels good in some ways. In other ways, it's like, okay, what's next? But, we'll see. I mean, you got to be patient. It's a weird time with this COVID stuff, and we'll see how it all shakes out in the next year or two.
Boy, you better enjoy this time, pal, because you're gonna be back in uniform before you know it. You're gonna have 162 games in spring training, and you're gonna manage a team, and you'll be like, gosh, I had all that time off and I didn't take it. Right.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Hey, Dave Smith here. Make sure you listen to my show on the Mightier 1090, 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday night. The only local sports talk in all of Southern California on the weekends, right here on the Mightier 1090.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on Your View. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
Thank you for interviewing with us. Tell me a little something about yourself. What are your greatest strengths?
Well, my differences are my strengths. Those of us with intellectual and developmental disabilities are highly motivated. We are creators. We are leaders and innovators. We are changing the face of work for the better, one customer at a time.
Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm confident that you would make an incredible addition to our team. It is time we start building a workforce that is diverse, inclusive, and equitable. A workforce that recognizes that our greatest strengths lie in our differences.
Join us at deliveringjobs.org.
That's the wrap.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Sports in a Minute.
The college basketball transfer portal had a productive night in the West Coast on Monday. Cal junior Matt Bradley announced Monday night that he will be committing to San Diego State. Bradley entered the Division I transfer portal last week, and while he was a target for top programs like Gonzaga, Kansas, Oregon, and USC, he chose the Aztecs for his last 2 years of eligibility. Mission Bay High alum Boogie Ellis announced his transfer from Memphis to USC on Monday night as well. Some prep news for early this week. Oceanside High had to cancel its final 2 games of this abbreviated spring football season after a positive COVID test in the program last Thursday. The Pirates were slated to play number 5 St. Augustine last Friday and El Camino this Friday. This is the final week of the spring season. I'm Haley Stasiak. That's your sports in a minute. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Hey, it's Pharrell here, inviting you to catch my shows on the Mightier 1090. We're on twice every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Trust me, all the other sports stations are sleeping with your wife.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Are you living in an underserved community and facing adversity? Do you have a desire to start or grow your own business? San Diego State University's Lavin Entrepreneurship Center, the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurial Studies, and community partners invite you to participate in our Community Bootcamp. The bootcamp provides intense, hands-on exposure to the fundamentals of launching and growing a successful venture. Register today at leadershipcentersw.org.
Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on Your View. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives. Time now for Kaplan and Crew Tonight's Community Connect.
Step up. You know, we're breaking that stereotype of what a homeless person is, this subculture society. We're just brothers, sisters, mom, dad, grandmas, and grandpas being part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
So, ladies and gentlemen, left-hand side.
We make sure that there's no drug dealing, drug use, encampments around their facilities, or anywhere in our neighborhood. We self-police, and that's all a testament to the folks here that used to be out there.
Watch out for sharp objects, ladies and gentlemen.
Ed's, once again, he's a perfect example of the caliber of the men and women that have been outside on the streets.
Here in San Diego for over 50 years, have worked all my life since 1975. But suddenly I had a stroke and I lost all muscle control. One of the things you never think will happen to you, but it can.
The onus of responsibility need to go to our folks like Ed, people you've seen here that have tremendous skill, and give them the opportunity to shine. It's that peer-to-peer support, talking to the folks out there and bringing folks in here to start the process.
Let's go.
We are in the hope business. What we do every day and what we've done for 40 years is to provide kids and families going through critical illnesses hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day. My favorite wish is the next one, because that is the power of our organization, is to bring hope to kids who are going through something right now, and hope can't wait. So people can get involved now by donating resources. They can donate in kind. They can donate their time as volunteers. They can donate dollars, because kids are still getting diagnosed with illnesses that qualify for Make-A-Wish every day. So people can visit us online at sandiego.wish.org. They can visit us and follow us on social media. There are so many ways to get connected, and people can help in many, many different ways. We need your support now more than ever, because illness doesn't take a vacation and it doesn't take a break because of COVID-19.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight's Community Connect is fueled by the Mightier 1090. Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
I've been a part of this community for a long time, and giving back is what we do. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about the San Diego Giving Back Raffle, a benefit for Ronald McDonald House Charities of San Diego. Grand prize is this $4 million luxury home, or you could win a car, vacation, or cash. Everyone is guaranteed to win a prize. And you'll feel good knowing your raffle purchase goes to help families like the Lechugas. Get your tickets now for the San Diego Giving Back Raffle.
Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on Your View. Sponsored by The Burns Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit theburnsfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio, SoCal Sports Talk.